It's not clear the people who raise the most amount of money, they might be temporary winners, but just like Catan, because everyone goes after them, they may not be the ultimate winner. And the best winners are the ones that kind of keep a low profile and just pull off and just accelerate toward the very end. Hello everyone, I want to talk about the similarities between Catan and startups. I play a lot of Catan, especially in my younger days. And every time when I see my old friends, we always play a game of Catan. Recently, we played 4 games of Catan while I was visiting the Bay Area with a group of old friends. And I couldn't help with this new trip, the eerie similarities between Catan and startups, and for that matter, life. The first similarity is you really see the power of exponential growth. Last trip is the first time ever that I didn't win a game during the whole trip. We played 4 games and I lost all 4 games. And it wasn't even close. I was basically either the last place or the second to last place. And during those games, I vividly felt that every time when the dice got rolled, I don't usually get resources. And if I do get resources, I get 1 or 2, and people get 5 or 6 toward the end of the game. And that's the difference between exponential growth and linear growth. In startups, you only become a winner when you grow faster than your competitors. And literally, if you just take a snapshot in time, I was not growing faster than my competitors. And hence, the startups will die. Now you might ask, why is it that I grew slower than other people? That in the beginning of the game, the board selection is basically your startup idea. And the market you choose determines 80% of the success. If I put most of my settlements on good numbers with a diversity of numbers, basically I'm guaranteed every round I'm drawing at least 1 resource. Whereas if I concentrate all my resources in 1 or 2, I have to be extremely lucky or something has really gone my way. Market selection, in my true experience, determines 90% of your success. For example, we focus on the real estate prop tech market. I don't know, I can count in my fingers how many prop tech tens of billions of companies are there. There are no more than 5 in my experience. There are few in the single digit billions. But how many payroll companies or how many medical companies there are in the tens of billions of valuation? Probably 10x or 100x more. Fatalistic or not, especially after watching a movie like The Odyssey, most of your success is determined at birth. There's this very fatalistic way of your success is basically determined in the first 10 minutes of the game. It's determined to a large constraint in the first year on what market you're going to. You could argue that you can pivot, you can add adjacent markets and so on, but it's still at the end, in my case, is real estate compared to fintech. The second point I learned from Settlers of Catan is it's fact of life. Just like in startups, you are thrown in every direction. We use a random generator to generate the Catan board as opposed to playing the standard version because it's more interesting that way. In some of the configurations, they intentionally put the pieces in very interesting places. For example, it puts all the 8s and the 6s next to the deserts, so inevitably leads to a slower game. And as such, most people don't end up with settlements in spots that will touch all 5 resources. And so I and other friends will complain. We start the game with limited resources and we might be blocking one another. Isn't that the life of being a startup founder? That it is rejection after rejection after rejection. Everything you want to do, especially in the beginning, is no after no after no. What do I learn then? If you're experiencing this feeling of being thrown in every direction, I'm pretty sure all your competitors are experiencing the same thing. It is just a common human experience. Don't think of myself, and what I realized is I was not unique. What my friends were voicing is precisely what I'm thinking. Some trades will get blocked, some trades will be unfair, where you want to go may be taken. If you're first to go, someone might block your path. It's literally all part of the game. The lesson is frustration is a common universal experience among startup founders. Get used to it. And the last one is the winner now is not the winner at the end. I think on the first game or 2, I was way ahead and everyone was gunning me. And again, that's a shared common experience. I'm not unique because I'm winning, people start putting their rubber on my resources. If you are ahead, you become the target. And similarly, when you raise a ton of money, you become the target. Or you become the envy of your peers, that people hold you to the golden standard. But because frustration is a common experience, it's not clear that people who raise the most amount of money, they might be temporary winners, but just like Catan, because everyone goes after them, they may not be the ultimate winner. And the best winners are the ones that kind of keep a low profile and just pull off and just accelerate toward the very end. Because I was playing with a group of very close friends, the game of Catan for us literally came down to who do we think is the temporary winner? Because we will make sure that that temporary winner doesn't win. So the only winner, and that actually makes certain people don't like this game very much because they're like, I couldn't really get ahead. If I'm doing well, someone will block me. So definitionally, I couldn't win. Well, the strategy is to pretend you're not winning so that you will win. That's a pretty philosophical deep meaning. In startups, are you willing to endure decades of not being a winner so that you have a shot at winning? Or are you willing to endure years of not winning to have a shot at winning at the end? I feel like the best winners, just like OpenAI and Anthropic, OpenAI was clearly the winner, and then a few years later, Anthropic is the real winner. How do you win in life? It's a very similar mindset of how you win in Catan. Be humble, pretend to be humble, be strategic, be nice, and pick the right market. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.